What we're doing today is finishing up PowerPoint project number 1. Going to pay a little extra attention to what I think are going to be very useful skills for you beyond the regular person in being able to manipulate the master slides. But before doing that, let's make sure we have the content of our existing slides, and we're going to be adding some notes to them. So we're bringing up PowerPoint. And we've got this far, and last time we ended on this page here. So let's use this page as a good practice of image manipulation. All the things you can do with images, you probably know a lot of this already, but let's make sure you got a really good handle on it, and maybe teach you something you don't know. Okay, so we brought in, the last thing we did, we brought in these little footprints. Now, I have these footprints, and if I move them around, I see that the footprints has a white rectangular background, and that's not a problem when I have a white background on my page. Now I'm thinking that I would like these footprints to be walking across my screen and coming up to where the animals are. So I'm going to have the footprints rotate them to go the other direction, and my plan is to have them kind of walk behind, but I see that white rectangle is going to mess me up. If I make a copy of that image, copy paste, and I try to put them together to make a trail of footprints, the rectangle interferes with my image. See how it messes up the picture right there? So what I'd like to do is have those footprints not have that white background. So I'm going to delete that image and come and modify this one so it has a transparent background. Now, how many of you already know how to make a transparent background? Ever done it? It comes in pretty handy, especially if I want to do a little better graphics. Here's how it's done. I'm going to place it here just so it's obvious that it has that white rectangle. I have the picture format tab selected now, and over here underneath the color icon, I can come down here to set transparent color. If I click set transparent color, now wherever I click next on the picture, that will become the transparent color for that picture. And since this has a nice even white background, if I click on the white, suddenly that white is gone, except really close to the edges of that picture, because it's got a little shading right near the paw print pattern. But otherwise, I now have transparent footprints that I now can place and have them walking across my screen. So first thing I'm going to do is rotate it a little bit because they're going to come up at an angle, and then Control C copy and Control V paste, or drag with the Control key down, and I can enlarge them a little bit as they come closer. Copy paste again, and how about we have them turn, here's my rotate, have them turn a little bit. Now it's a little bit funky because I have a whole rectangle of paw prints. I could crop that and do other fancy things, but I'm not going to worry too much. Now if I set this behind those little pets, because I don't want them stepping on the face of my cute little kitty, I can right click, send to back. But now the problem is the white background of the little doggy picture now is in my way. Let's turn that background also be transparent. Remember how to do that now. Select the image, picture format, color, set transparent color, and now click in the white. If I accidentally clicked in the tan, that would become transparent. You need to have a transparent face. So click where on the color you want to remove, essentially. And now this picture has a transparent background. So now the footprints don't get wiped out by a big white rectangle. Gives me a little more capability at manipulating my images. Now the transparent color, because of the way it works, it only works on images, or works best on images that have a single color for a background. If it's a more complex image, you then have to go to the Remove Background tool, which isn't as nearly as friendly and takes a little more skill to learn how to use and remove background, but that's a way to remove a background in a little more sophisticated way. But if you just have a flat white background, which is typical a lot of pictures, you can simply remove or set transparent color. And see how one set of footprints is not sent to back, so I'm going to right click on that one, send that to back too. So now my little doggies, I can place them around. Oh, and notice what happened here. When I set the transparent color, I didn't realize that the actual dog had some pure white in its fur, and you can see how I've made the dog partially transparent. That's where the background tool would keep that from happening. But if I don't put him in front of something like that, I won't see that strangeness in the. I've made the dog semi-transparent where his fur is pure white. So I have footprints, but let's make them appear to be coming from a distance. So I'm going to shrink this first one just a tiny bit. And I'm going to shrink this one a little bit so the footprints get larger as they come closer. And I'm going to stretch them a little too. They're not going to be perfect, but it gives you the idea. A little bit of playfulness in the picture with the dog fronts walking across the screen. And maybe we'll come and do a little animation as we maybe add a little extra to this. Remember, if you ever grab the middle sizing handle, that will warp it. If you grab a corner, it will typically keep the proportions. Oh, and something that you may, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, let's see what happens if I make it tiny and then I enlarge it again. Sometimes, oh, this one didn't do it. Sometimes if you make it tiny and then enlarge it, you actually lose some resolution, but that one didn't happen to us. Okay, there's some decent footprints with some image manipulation. Let's see, we may come back and do more on that, but that gives you nice image editing. If you wanted to change the color, remember you have all these other corrections you could apply. If you wanted an artistic effect to those footprints because they're kind of a part of the background interest, you could mess with some artistic effect to the background. But notice the artistic effect does apply to the invisible background for some of them. And some of these you won't know how it applies to the invisibility until you actually keep the change. I'm going to select that one. Oh, and selecting them can be difficult sometimes, especially if you have a picture behind the other one. The way you know you're ready to select something is you get the double arrow to appear. Here, once I'm at the border of that checkbox, then it selects that one. If I want to select that one instead, I have to either select the text or find where, there. Then I can select that text box. All right, I think we're done with that one. Let's see here. We've changed let's see, it's our services. I think we're changing that to something else. But let's go see what they want us to do here. Let me skip back to that section where we modified the file. Brought in our images. We reset the pictures. Oh, this one here, I would adjust the font size to be nice and readable. I think this is much better than what the original came with the design. They wanted to, let's see, they then do some adjustments to the text. We've changed it to grooming services. Oh, and now we have a theme we've applied. We've messed with some images. we would now like to adjust our theme. The blue background does not feel pet-like. That feels more like a hospital. And we want to make it seem more outdoorsy. So let's go to the design. Although we do like that background pattern, we're not going to change the theme. We're not going to choose another theme, although there's plenty of themes available. We like this particular integral theme. But suppose we'd like to adjust the color of it. Well, if I look over here on variants, and I click the down arrow for variants, I do have other variants of that theme that are built in. But the thing is, if I hover over there, I'll see that it not only is it giving a change in color, it's also changing the pattern, changing my background color there, which is not what I want. I only want to adjust my color variation. That's where these come in. I can actually, instead of adjusting the variant of a theme, I can choose the variant of the color of that theme. So I can choose just to vary the colors by coming down here, hovering over colors, and then coming down to yellow-orange. I see the effect on the slide I'm in. Once I click the choice, then it will adjust all the colors that I'll see them appear in the navigator. The only effect you see on the other slides is that tiny little line there changes color. So the color theme in this particular theme, when you change it, it mainly affects that pattern, the background pattern fill of that original slide. So if you want to just adjust one thing, like suppose you want a different set of fonts or a different set of effects, I can just mess with the effects for that theme or the different background for the slides that use the background. And after we get this done, we're going to see how adjusting the colors or the master slide is what can be very powerful for adjusting your theme. Okay, so I chose a variation of the color of the theme. Now, what else do they want us to do? I think the next thing they want us to do is learn how to add notes to slides. We're going to go to the last slide. Actually, we want this to be our last slide. Let's go ahead and make this our last slide. But let's add notes to these last two slides. To add a note, click on the slide. Now, I can come to the bottom of the image or the slide and see that line. If I drag that line, it opens up the notes. Or I can click here to have it push the note line up a little bit for me. But I can still resize the notes if I have a lot I'm writing. And now I can add some notes. And then we'll see the effect of these notes. The notes we'd like to add, and sorry, I don't think it's letting me zoom. Oh, there, I'm going to zoom in on notes. It does let me zoom in on notes. I'll zoom on these for you. The notes we want to put are: we offer quality dog and cat grooming service performed by our experienced pet stylist. It will do spell checking on your notes, I believe. Let's make sure. Oh, doesn't show me red squigglies, but I believe the spell checking will catch. There it finally does. It does catch spelling errors in your notes, unlike other places. I can zoom in on those just to make them visible. Now, the effect of the notes come in two places. One place where you actually can print out your slides with notes and to provide it to your audience, or when I'm presenting with two displays. And this is how, and I'm going to go ahead and go to slideshow. I'm going to set it up to show this slideshow on my other monitor. And now you'll see the presenter view at the lectern. This is what I would see if I have a two screen, like if I have my laptop and then I'm connected to my projector. This is what I would see on my screen. And as I go to the various slides, see how notes are showing up here. Here's my notes showing up. So as I'm presenting, my audience would see this while I have notes I could check on. And I don't think I can add the notes while I'm here. That would be pretty cool. While I'm talking, I can't add notes. But I can come back and modify my notes for each slide. So when I present, I have an idea of what to say rather than just turning around and reading the slide, which is one of the worst things so many people do. Now the notes for this last slide, we would also like to add something about obedience classes. Again, as I'm presenting, I could have these available to me. Obedience training is fun and rewarding for your dog and for you. Our classes focus on essential commands and socialization. And you could always put in notes, pause for questions. Don't forget to hand out your brochure at a particular point. All these notes as you present are right there for you in your presentation. So I hit slide, and this is what I'll see as I present that one. And I can tell what slide is coming up next on the presentation view. Let's add notes to this one here. How about maybe perhaps ask the customers or client if they know the location, if they need to use our emergency services. We don't offer ambulances, so they need to know the way to the place. Perhaps ask and then show a Google map or something, maybe a note to yourself. This one, build your confidence, be confident, ask about pets, and of course you could have a crowd warm-up activity. Greet each other. Greet the boss. Things to remind yourself, or later if you print it, things that they will have in their notes to take home with them. All right, now you're experts at notes. And now we can verify that all our spelling is correct. Even if I don't see any red squigglies, never hurts to go to review spelling, and it will do a spell check throughout your entire presentation. Now, before we get into a little more advanced work here, let's take a look at the file background information that is stored in this file, which is found over underneath or behind here, going to Backstage View on the File menu, File Info. Under File Info, I can go Show All Properties. Now I have even more that I can show. I can actually modify a tag. Let's put a tag of, how about tags of pet care is my tag. Comments, how about contact info, and put your email in there. I'll put jsmart@mas.edu. Multimedia clips, I can't modify that. The format, let's see, the status. How about created September 2023. Category, fundamentals. Hyperlink base. I'm not sure what hyperlink base is, but I could put my company in there. Let's go ahead and put our company in there, MAS Bible College. This is what we call meta tags or meta information, information about this file. Notice it is keeping track of your modification dates, when you actually printed it last. It'll show up if you actually do a print, and how many slides are in it, total size, how many words and notes you have. When we actually do the printing, we'll print a PDF and see if the last printed does update. I'm curious whether last printed will update if I don't send it to an actual printer. I can actually find where the file is from that info. If you have a PowerPoint and you forgot where you saved it, open file location will, I'm assuming it will bring up File Explorer in the location of your file. Handy to know that underneath info. And I can then close the info view by just clicking the back arrow. Takes me back to my presentation. Now they spend a little time explaining slide sorter view. I find it useful when I have a presentation with lots of slides. If I want to close my notes, I can either click on that line and drag it away, drag it down, or I could just click the notes and it hides them, shows or hides them. Show or hide the notes, clicking that icon there. Slide sorter view, if I have multiple slides, I can zoom in and out on that and arrange my slides. And I can, if you have a lot of slides, you can change the orders by grabbing them and moving them around. I can zoom in and out in slide sorter view as well. Handy when I have lots of slides. Say I I'm doing a slideshow for a wedding, and I have 100 slides. Pop them up in slide sorter view, and you can quickly adjust their order, and then play your presentation. And then if you ever want to go back to normal view, click here on normal, and you're back to normal view. Notes on and off, normal view. Oh, look at toggling normal. Toggles through your different styles of view. I'm going to skip over the part about showing your slide. I think you're good at that. Let's go now. Now we've talked about how notes can enhance your view when presenting. Let's go print this out to a PDF. And one reason we want to do it is to see if our last printed information updates. But let's show what can be done when we print it. Now to print it, I have to do, I don't think it's on the Home tab. I'm used to the print little icon on Google Docs. I can do a Control P or File Print. File Print. Control P is the common printing. Now this takes me to, first of all, the view that would be if I sent it to this black and white printer. But if I choose a different printer, such as Print to PDF, since it has color capabilities, the color shows up. So it will show depending on the color will show depending on what printer you're intending to send it to. Now, here's where the notes come in. I can choose to print all slides, and it'll give me each little slide as though the audience were seeing it. But I could choose to print custom, or instead of print slides, I could choose to print my slides with the notes on a separate page. This could be a hard copy backup of my notes in case I don't have a two display computer and the audience is seeing exactly what I'm seeing, I could have my notes hard copy and use them as I go through my slides. Something else I can do, I can print slides here. I would prefer that I could actually print, and I'm not sure why I'm only seeing that first slide. Oh, here. I could print slides with a place for them to take notes, not for my notes to appear. If I want my notes, I can only do the notes pages. Maybe there's a way someday they'll have thumbnails with notes, but notes page is the only available there. But these are handy to give to your audience during their presentation, especially this one. It's very common when I have professional presenters come. You'll have a 3-ring binder at your place with the company logo and all fancy stuff, and you have these with you to take notes while they're doing the presentation. The danger to be handing these out is they're going ahead and not listening to you because you have really interesting picture on the last slide, and they're jumping to that instead of paying attention to what you've said important about this second slide. So again, professional presenters will often hand you the notes at the end or only give you the section you're discussing now, so you can't have those people wildly turning pages going way ahead in your presentation. Crowd control gets hard as you get professional speakers that are speaking to groups that some are forced to be there. But you can develop your skills if you ever are in that market. You can adjust your layout if you're printing it out. Layout or portrait or landscape. Now, just for fun, I'm going to print this to a PDF to see if my info changes as last time printed. I'm going to go ahead and print it. I can choose where that PDF goes. I'm going to put it in my section 2 and PowerPoint, and let's see, I'll call it PPT1. Pets. Printed. And I click Save. And now, let's see if File Info shows last printed. Yes, it does. So if I print it to PDF, last printed does show. So you know how to print it out, to share it as a PDF or as a hard copy. Many options in that. And of course you can print just your notes with slides. Now for something a little extra for you. Let's go back to, where did we have this? This slide here, where I had inserted an extra little picture there. My boss comes and says, you know, I like that cool little effect you did on that slide. How about you do that on all of them? Put that cute little picture in the corner. Well, one choice you have is Control-C copy, go to every slide in your presentation and do a paste into every other slide. That would be okay if you only have 4 slides. But what if you have 100 slides with a long presentation? Here is a very powerful way to adjust your slides all in one step. It's a little known View Master Slide Master. View Slide Master. I made a copy of that picture. First I did a Control-C copy, and I'm going to go to View Slide Master. Now the Slide Master is basically a way to get in to adjust, to customize the theme that you have selected. As I click on different slides, if I hover over it, I'll see that that is the master slide for that particular layout. The master slide has a master for every slide format possible in that theme. And that's all cool. But the coolest thing and the most powerful thing is that very top master slide. See how it's a little bigger than all the rest? That's because it is the master of them all. If I go and edit that slide, I can change the characteristics of every slide. Let's go ahead and paste that picture that I copied. Put it over in the corner there. And if I view this, I see that that little picture is appearing about on every other formatted slide, all by putting it on, I'll call it the supermaster, the master. Anything I do here, I can adjust the, say I want that little line there to be thicker, I can adjust the width of that little line selected, shape format, shape outline, make it a little thicker. And to see the effect of that, I can either click normal view or view or slide master, close master view. And every slide now has that adjusted thicker line, and it contains that cute little picture in the corner. Even the slide that already had it in the corner, because one picture belongs to that particular slide, the other picture, I can't click and select it because it's out there in the master slide. So I can't click on that. I can go to the master slides design, or sorry, master slide, and the only place that I can touch that and add or remove it is up there on the slide master. Now let's add your name to the slide master just to make it customized to you. So let's go to insert, and you can, I'll do a shape, and how about a little, I have what's that shape there, let's do it, I'll do a little cloudy shape, and I'll put it over maybe in the other corner, and I'll put my name in there, John Smart. That's my fake student. I can adjust that image however I like, tastefully, apply any cool shape effects to that. I think I like the bevel. Little rotation. And if you notice, it doesn't appear on every slide. This is a little mysterious to me yet. This slide it doesn't appear on, but if I want it to appear on that slide, I have to make my own copy for that particular layout. So I could copy from there if I really wanted it on everyone. Since this one, for some reason, notice here, this one has that pattern as a little image over a background shape, but that, if I want that shape to appear on that slide, for some reason it is blocking the master slide from modifying the title. Maybe that's just a characteristics of your title slide, that it ignores what's in the super master. But I can move those other shapes back to where I wanted them and then paste that shape for that particular one. So you can customize each layout. So suppose you wanted a different picture for this particular layout. If you wanted to hide that, you'd have to put a white rectangle over it to hide it. Let me see if I could hide that. Let's do an insert shape, and let's make it a white rectangle. Fill it with white. Make the border also white. And now I'm hiding that particular picture for that particular layout. So remember, each of these is a layout present in the theme I selected. Different themes may have different layouts available to you, but yet there's more. Since you're now getting into the more advanced areas here, knowing what you can do here on the master slide can be kind of interesting. I can actually insert a new layout. I'm going to put it at the very end. I'm going to select the very end one and then do insert layout. And now I have a whole layout that I can adjust it any way I like. Putting in another image somewhere else on that particular layout page. Notice the things on the master slide are still showing through. choosing hide background graphics. Oh, this is how I hide the master slide. I can choose hide background graphics. That's how you keep your master slide from poking through. And now I have my own custom layout added to this theme. I can right click on that and give it an actual name. I'll call it John Smart theme. Or sorry, John Smart layout, because each of these is a layout that will be available in my theme. I can close master view and watch what happens now. I can choose any slide and notice John Smart layout is available for that slide. So you can customize your theme, and it's all out there in the view master slide master. So customize the main slide master if you want something to appear on everything. Let's do one more thing. Let's add a slide number to every slide. And again, I do that. This time I'm going to do it with, instead of editing that little box right there that I see on the slide master, I'm going to go insert slide number. And here I have a header and footer control. I can decide what shows on my slides. And I can decide what shows on my title slide. I can display what shows on the notes pages as in terms of header and footer. Lots of control there with just that little insert slide number. That gives me control of what shows on my slides. Now if I play my presentation, I'm going to switch my slide. I'm going to close my slide master and switch to the slideshow setup to show on this presentation. Now as I view it, I'll see my extra graphics showing on every slide. So now you're learning that if you go to master slide or view slide master, there's a very powerful stuff I can do in there. Those things go with my theme. If I chose a different theme, I would have different master slide. Some of it sticks around, but it does modify the graphics. And then I can close master view either there or going to normal view. Now we're going to do just one more thing here, just to give you little advanced skills here. Right now when I view this slide, it just shows the images immediately. Sometimes you want a little bit more interest there, or you only want to show something and then have it fade away because it gets in your way. Let's do something here again on our master slide. Let's go to view master slide. Go to the super master slide. Let's click on the John Smart or your name graphic, and let's add a little something interesting to him. Let's have that fade in slowly when you come to the slide. We're going to be doing more with animations, but they don't spend enough time with animations. I want to introduce a little bit here, and we will be doing much more on the final presentation. If I go to animations with that graphic selected, let's have that animation fly in with the effect option of flying in from the top left. And let's have it fly in a little slower. Let's change the duration to be maybe 2 seconds. And let's have it delay by a few seconds. So duration of 2 seconds, but it will delay 2 seconds. I have now applied a trend or an animation to an item on my master slide. Now, to see the effect of this, let's hit F5 and see what happens. First slide, it's there because, remember, this slide was blocking the graphics, and this was placed specially for the title slide. Let's go to the next slide. It's not appearing. Did I block graphics on that one? Is it waiting for a click? Oh, there we go. I have it. I have it set up for waiting for a click instead of automatically coming in. Let's go fix that. Last thing we'll do. Let's fix that animation by the master slide, clicking that animation, and let's change it to from start on click to start with previous. That means it will happen automatically when the slide appears. It will delay by 2 seconds and then appear. Now it's not waiting for me to click. Now let's hit F5. That one's there because I have a separate graphic for the title slide. There we go. It appears automatically on each slide. Now, of course, you could make it a much more exciting little animation in the corner. If I want to ever adjust my animation, first I have to do is select the object and then go to my Animations tab. That was a little extra I threw in there just so you can have your PowerPoint skills be as advanced as possible. At this point, you can save your slide presentation, upload it to Schoology. So I'm going to do I can go to a View or Slide Master, Close Master View, or Normal View takes me back to Normal View. Getting out of Slide Master View is a little awkward. View, Slide Master. When you're here, you have that. But if you ever go to another tab, it's like, oh, how do I get back to normal? Well, then you can go here, and you're back to normal view. Save it, Control S, upload it to Schoology, and you are done for today. This has been recorded and will be uploaded to that little YouTube playlist. That extra little master slide thing is not in the textbook, but I think it's useful enough that I wanted to show you here and get you understanding of that and learn how that slide master can, especially with long presentations with many slides, knowing how to change that slide master can be very convenient. Not copy pasting a graphic to each slide. Yeah, once that is saved and uploaded, you can head off to chapel.
I have a question. So for some reason, every time I log into my account, it says like something went wrong, and like this whole time I was trying to like get the files and stuff on there with like the pictures from Schoology, and it'll just be like, oh, something went wrong, and I won't be able to get my pictures and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, and it says that like, oh, I logged out, but it says that like every time.
Well, first thing we'll reset the computer just in case something just is funky with the computer over time. We'll come and log in and see what happens. If you have, yeah, we'll see. Maybe there's something going on our network or some configuration.
It just says it every time, and it's been like that like for a long time.
Really? Do you have any large files you've downloaded or anything? Sometimes that'll mess up
Maybe.
our systems.
I don't remember.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, we did notice in the first session that there were some long logins happening, and so I'm not sure what's happening there. We might have to
Yeah.
check on the computers. Could be Windows 11 doing some update. There's lots of things that can go wrong.
I saw that you extended the due date for the quiz.
Yeah.
I thought I already took it though.
Yeah, but some were wanting it extended. So.
Oh, okay.
I just sent a
didn't
message to
know-
everybody.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Also, with the videos that you upload,
Uh-huh.
some of them, like show like a little part of the screen, but not all of it for YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember for one assignment, I was trying to like get the paragraph that you're typing in.
Yeah.
And it only showed like a part of it, but not the rest.
Okay, if you know which one that was, I could take a look. And I don't know if it's a YouTube thing.
Yeah, because I would say probably the one from the last assignment.
Word
with
3?
Sunset College.
Yep.
Yeah. Sometimes for the paragraph, it'll only show like just one side of the screen, and not the other.
Well, let's take a look here. Here we go. So our plan today is finish up Project 3 in Word, where you will do the things that will make your documents the most professional ever for your company.
That's my little recorder
People will want
software
you
might
to do
be
their documents, or you to
failing
teach them
me,
how to do their documents.
not realizing it's not
Or they'll
giving
just
you
say,
the
hey,
full
you must be
screen.
really
Oh,
smart
I'm
'cause
seeing
you know
that
how to
now.
make things look really nice. And it's not